What is up, everyone? I finally got a new microphone. As you can tell, the audio should be a lot better. And I also got this phone mount, but the 3M adhesive is very, very weak. And I put it on my car and it immediately fell off. So I think I'm going to have to either get some new adhesive or do something and mount it and let it sit because it literally just fell off immediately. But anyway, all right, sorry to cut you off there, past max, but future max, which is actually present max, which as I watch this video back will be past max. But yeah, anyway, future max needs to mention that I weighed in at 199.6 this morning because past max forgot to say that. So now future max, which is also present max, now has to say it himself because you forgot to. So yes, I was 199.6 this morning, which is zero point 0.8 pounds down from yesterday. Still steadily losing weight, obviously. Yeah, hopefully I can get to 185 by the end of the bulk. By the end of the bulk, I've been bulking for so long that the only words I know are bulk and bulking. No, we are cutting. By the end of the mini cut, I can be 185. But yeah, let's get back to the car yapping session. It is a pull day today, the last workout of the actual training cycle, the 8-day training split. I gotta make sure this seatbelt doesn't kind of crash against my mic. Hopefully, the nestling of my jacket isn't really too big of an issue. Yes, today should be a good workout. It's not my favorite workout, to be completely honest. But pull is always fun just because you get to hit biceps at the end. A lot of people actually don't like biceps for some reason. They think it's boring. I don't know. I mean, biceps are a little bit boring. Whoa. My car is. I probably should have warmed it up a little bit, but biceps are a little bit boring. But I mean, the bicep pump is always really nice, so I am looking forward to that. But anyway, the audio actually was so bad yesterday that I had to completely cut out the car yapping session, and I talked about driving specifically. There was a big snowstorm yesterday, and I got caught in it last night, and it was really bad driving home. But I was mentioning that I had just found out that I am this. I need this car mount because now I'm shaking like crazy. But actually, maybe if I push this in a little bit more, maybe that does it. I don't know. But yeah, I was mentioning how I just found out that I am not on my parents' insurance plan, which is obviously not a good thing as a driver. This is actually my dad's car. I don't have a car, but my parents both work at home and I work from home. So between the three of us, we don't really leave the house very often. So there's only two cars between us, my mom's car and my dad's car. I drive my dad's car. But yeah, I'm not on the insurance plan, which is not good because if I get in an accident, then it is curtains for my bank account. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Not to say like I'm a bad driver, but what I was talking about yesterday was I actually didn't get my license until I was 19. Or was it 20? I think it was 19. But yes, I did not like driving. I was very scared to drive, so I didn't drive. And for those of you who don't have your license and you are old, older than, I don't know, maybe 20 or something, then number one, don't worry about it, right? It's not the end of the world. I was super, super embarrassed, as a college freshman who didn't have his license. I thought it was the end of the world, right? If you don't have your license, you're uncool, or, oh my God, you're such a loser. That's what I would think because I didn't have my license. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You just don't drive a car. I mean, that's it. That's the only thing that happens. But yes, I would recommend getting a license because you will be able to go places. You won't have to rely on other people to take you places, and you can be a little bit more free. It is obviously a necessary skill to have in life to know how to drive a car. So I would definitely recommend practicing. If your parents, that's what my dad did. I went on drives with him all the time. My dad taught me to drive. I didn't take any lessons or anything like that. But if you have a parent that wants to teach you how to drive, take advantage of it because it might seem like, oh, I hate driving, I don't want to do it. But if your parents can teach you and you can avoid having to take lessons, then that is a fucking awesome thing. And if you do have to take lessons, then I mean, it is worth it, right? It is worth it to know how to drive a car. But again, it's not the end of the world if you don't. Um, you don't have to think, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I would recommend, just take the time, go on a nice drive, and learn, because it is worth it. But yes, I didn't get my license until I was 19. I passed on my first try because I'm just the GOAT. But yes, that was the story of that was what I was talking about yesterday when my audio was absolutely terrible. So yeah, today is a pull session. Unfortunately, I got to get that car mount set up somehow. I don't think it's shaking nearly as bad. I think I kind of fixed it. I'm trying to drive a little bit cautiously. But yes, let's hope I don't get touched. This car does not get touched, because if it does, my bank account is actually empty. It's going away. So yeah, let's make sure we drive very, very carefully today. But yeah, that is the end of the voiceover. No, this is not the voiceover. This is the car yapping session. We had a driving session talk today. So I will see you guys in the gym for a pull session. Yes. So on to the pull session that I did today. This actually wraps up the final workout of my training routine. I only do 6 different workouts, and this is day 6. As per usual, I've got some questions that I want to talk about, and this is actually my first workout with a mic. I actually attached a mic onto my shirt. I'm not doing any commentary during my sessions. If you guys really want to see that, maybe I'll try it out, but right now I'm just kind of doing voiceovers. Plus, I think if I do commentary during my sessions, it'll probably end up being like 45-minute long videos, just because I have to show my set, then I talk about my set, then I show my set, then I talk about my set over and over and over again. And these videos are already 15 minutes long. No one really wants to sit through a 45-minute video. Plus, I mean, if you do, then just go watch Sam Sulik's videos, right? I mean, he kind of owns that style of video. So I wanted to do a little bit of something different. But anyway, getting on to the first question, Aiden asks, what app do you use to track your weights? Now, I wanted to include this comment because I saw a lot of it. A lot of people ask this question. And the weight, if you are talking about body weight, then the app I use is Fit Index. It is a free app, but obviously to connect it, you need the scale. And I believe the scale costs like $25, maybe $20 on Amazon. I'll have to look it up. I'll probably, pop a picture on the screen. But it's a very nice body weight scale. It gives you some nice measurements. The measurements aren't super accurate. I believe it uses bioimpedance in order to track like body fat. But I know any kind of body fat test where it's all done, in a matter of seconds, it's not going to be super accurate, but it can tell you if you're gaining body fat, if one day your body fat percentage is 15% and the next day it's 15.2%, then most likely you gain some body fat. Whether or not it's actually 15% is up for debate for sure. But yeah, that's the app I use, Fit Index. It's very, very convenient. All I do is step on the scale after I take my morning dump, when I haven't eaten any food during the day, and I just track my weight every day that way. And you can look at all your statistics. You can go to the specific day. It's a pretty very, very convenient app, so highly recommend it. And then if you wanted to know how do I track my weight in terms of workout to workout, I just use my notes app on my phone. In fact, I have a separate phone that I can show you. This was the workout for today, if you guys can see that. Pull A, train hard, that's the gym I go to. With all my lifts and all my statistics there. So I just use the notes app, very, very easy. Ideally, you could probably use an Excel sheet or a Google spreadsheet where you can actually track, session to session and keep your older sessions on file so that you can, actually assess whether or not you're making progress from week to week as opposed to session. But it's not really that important as long as you kind of have a general idea of whether or not your lifts are actually progressing. If, for example, this iliac pull down, or this lat pull down, which actually has been proven to not have the greatest leverage for the iliac or the lower division of the lats. It's more of an upper lat movement, I think, but it's a lat movement, so that's kind of why I didn't specify what kind of division it works. But this has gone up significantly. I think I started at like 40 something pounds, and it's up to 65 pounds, which this is a heavy stack. If any of you guys use this single stack machine, which is like on the end of the cable tower, that is a heavy stack. So doing that with that much weight is good. But yeah, I just use my notes app to track my workouts. Ideally, Google spreadsheet is probably a little bit better. But 10% battery remaining. That is not good. Let's hope this doesn't. How much? I only have a few minutes left anyway. And the last question, which is probably going to be the most important question, is from Pavles. I do not know how to pronounce that. Is it better to do different exercises or the same during your workouts if you do a muscle group 2 times per week? So, when it comes to training a muscle, you want a somewhat of a variety in exercises in order to avoid redundancy in your training and avoid doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's just accomplishing the same goal. For example, when it comes to choosing exercises for your back, you've got so many different exercises to choose from, but if you're just doing the same seated row with chest support over and over and over again, you're just biasing the same muscle groups, you're just hitting the same muscle groups, and you're not actually doing anything different between your exercises. So, or let's just say you train push-pull legs twice a week, right? Push-pull legs, the kind of training routine that I go for, push-pull legs twice a week. It's always going to be better to do 2 different workouts on your push days than 2 of the same exact workouts. Well, number one, because it's hard to progress. It's very difficult to progress session to session, especially when your workouts are only 3 or 4 days apart, right? Going into, let's say, for example, a machine chest press on the first day, that first push day, if you're doing that same exact machine chest press on the second push day, progressing that weight just between those 4 days is going to be very difficult because muscle just isn't built that fast. So the first thing is, when you have different exercises, you give yourself a little bit more time in between sessions in order to progress, right? Maybe that machine chest press you only do on your first push day, therefore you have like 8 days in between your next push day in order to actually build the muscle, let your body recover, and then actually go again and hit that machine chest press in order to potentially progress that movement. If it was just 4 days in between, it's probably going to be pretty difficult in order to progress, just because you haven't given your body enough time to actually build the muscle and create those adaptations in order to get stronger on the movement. So that's why that's the first reason why I would recommend doing 2 different workouts. And the second reason is, as I said before, there's a shit ton of different little muscles, and those muscle fibers inside of the muscles are, even if it's just a slight different variation, whether or not you're training the lengthened position or the shortened position, certain muscle fibers are biased in those movements, which can then create, different sort of stimulus in order to, make all of those muscle fibers actually reach hypertrophy. So I actually had to plug my phone in because my phone is now on like 2% battery. So that was the first cut of the video. But anyway, going back to the point I was saying, what was I saying? What was I mentioning? Oh yeah, it's always going to be better to do 2 workouts per session, just because, every muscle group, or every muscle group, take your biceps for example, is made up of different muscles in that muscle group. Your biceps have a long head and a short head. They can be trained in the lengthened position, the shortened position, and all of these exercises are doing just something a little bit different that may be targeting the muscle slightly different, and thus, stimulating that muscle a little bit differently. So in order to get the maximal stimulus, the most possible muscle fibers involved, and create the most possible hypertrophy for that muscle, it's probably a good idea to choose different exercises, just so that you can make sure you're targeting, every single individual part of that muscle in order for it to grow most effectively. So that's why I would say, if you're doing 2 of the same exercises per week, it might be a good idea to try out some different exercises. Plus, there's so many different machines, there's so many different exercises that you can do for different muscle groups, that in order to keep your training fun, in order to keep it different and throw a variety of exercises in, that is probably a good idea. So that's what I would say. Yes, it is always a good idea to do 2 different exercises, or 2 different sessions per week instead of 1. And yeah, on to the posing. I guess hopefully I answered that well enough. I was kind of worried about my camera dying, so yeah, that was kind of annoying. But yeah, that is what I would say for those questions. Hopefully, as per usual, this was educational, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the voiceovers. I might actually throw in some gym music, not gym music, but gym sound in the background of this video, just because I don't think the mic picked it up very well. But yeah, let's get on to some posing with my friend, and then we'll get back in the car. Yeah. Yeah, you can make the cut. You can make the cut.
What are we doing?
Biceps. Wide spread. Chest pose. Side chest. Oh, dude, I love playing with my boobs. The pull session is complete. I did some posing with one of my good friends, Ty, at the end there. Honestly, I think I need more sodium because the pumps are feeling a little depleted, and I don't think I'm eating enough sodium. So I might have to do the sodium potassium mixture. That if any of you know TNF on TikTok, I'm not sure if he posts on YouTube, but he's pretty big on TikTok. He recommends it. I've learned a lot from him. He's a very good educational nutritionist and workout, I guess, specialist. Very, very, a very smart man. But yeah, highly recommend checking him out, TNF. But he recommends doing sodium and potassium before a workout for electrolytes, which I might have to try out because my pumps are, as I said, deflated. But anyway, other than that, it was a good workout. Yeah, just your average pull day, to be honest. Just did some Stairmaster. What is going on? I think I have like the check engine light on. Might have to check that out. You know what? I will not be checking that out. My dad will be checking that out because my dad is the fixer. He somehow knows how to fix absolutely everything. So I will be showing that to him and he will be figuring it out because I am not the car maintenance guy. He somehow knows how literally to fix everything. If there's a problem with anything in the house, I don't know, he'll somehow figure it out. So I will be showing that to my dad. I'm not sure if it's the oil, the engine, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's pretty dark out here. And I guess it's kind of hard to see with these lights on, so I'll probably have to keep this a little bit short. Maybe I'll put my defrost on because that somehow fixed it last time. But yeah, I got the mic. I'll have to see how the audio is during my sets because I didn't look at any of them. The way this mic works is once you plug it into your phone, obviously there's a transmitter and a receiver. You plug the receiver into your phone, your transmitter is on you. And once both of them are plugged in, you can't actually play back the audio for some reason. So you'd have to unplug it. I mean, I guess I could have just unplugged it between my sets and checked it out. But I mean, I guess when I get home and when I look at the clips, I'll see how good the mic is. But yeah, hopefully everything went well. Got a rest day tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I'm actually getting a haircut, which is good because my hair is getting a little bit too long. So I'll have to ask my hairstylist to go just a little bit, just take a little bit off. I don't want to go bald. But yeah, that is tomorrow. Man, this cut is it's eating me alive, man. I was bulking for so long. I got used to so many calories, and I got used to progressing, every week. That as soon as I dropped my calories and I slowed progression and I regressed a little bit, yeah, it's hit me like a train. But yeah, that is it for the workout. That is it for vlog number 6. Wait, yeah, it is day 6. Yes, day 6, the final workout of the training session, the training routine. But that is it for the workout. I hope you guys have a good night. Well, I hope you guys have a good evening, that is, because I post these at around 2:30. But yeah, I will see you guys for day 7 shortly.